good, family? It's your boy, Minister Jap, man. Coming to y'all with another episode of the Pervert Police Network. Pervert. Look, man, you know I can't stand perverts. You know I can't stand people who do harm to children. You know what I'm saying? Just a perverted mind of a sick individual. We got a lot of these sex offenders in our neighborhood, amongst the community, and they gotta get put on blast, man. Pervert. You know what I'm saying? Today's topic, black single mothers pimping out their own daughters.
You are a pervert.
Flat out. Now, this is some common things that we have seen in the black community. Most common, we see women pimping out their daughters to older men. I've seen it in high school. This is a very, very, very common thing in the black community. You know what I'm saying? This is why I always say that most black women do not love their children. They just have them and simply maintain them. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? I seen it firsthand. High school, there were girls that were developing fast, and the drug dealers in the neighborhood, they were well into their 20s. These girls, every bit of 15, 14, you know, with 30-year-old men. But they wouldn't be with 30-year-old men if the mothers was not pimping them out. And they was paying the mothers to date their daughters. But like nowadays, you got women right now, black women especially, over-sexualizing their daughters, dressing their daughters up in skimpy stuff, going to go buy their daughters skimpy clothes, you know what I'm saying? Showing their daughters off, you know what I'm saying? Auctioning their daughters off to the highest bidder. But there are cases going on in the black community where black women are actually taking their daughters on dates to pretty much do sexual favors for other men. You know what I mean? I got a few stories we're gonna go through. Black women pretty much pimping out their daughters for their own benefits. Like I tell you, the black woman as a mother, especially single mothers, are some of the most selfish individuals that you're ever gonna see. They live for themselves and they do not love these children. They only love themselves and they're just trying to make it to Friday. You know, the black fathers have always been demonized, but it's rare that you ever heard of cases like this where a black man will sell his own daughter. Black women are out here selling their daughters to pay off debt, selling their daughters off for drug addictions, or just selling their daughters off just to make extra money because they know that their daughters are out here fast and doing things. Black women turn a blind eye to a lot of the promiscuous activities of their daughter, but they learn these promiscuous activities from the mother. You know, that's why it's very important for you as a black man to go get your child from this black single mother. Go get your child immediately. You know, because a lot of times women are given custody. They're given primary custody, even if they're broke, poor. You know, if the living conditions are terrible, it doesn't matter. The state doesn't care about your babies. The woman don't care about your babies. You have got to do everything in your power to get your children away from the black single mother. Because again, she does not love these children. She merely just maintains them. These kids don't grow up in a loving environment. You know, everything from the music that we have is sexualizing children. You know, so that's why I'm here to put perverts on blast with the Pervert Police Network. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this, man. Black woman pimping out her own daughter. Pervert.
A mother drove her adult daughter to have sex with someone she thought was a 14-year-old boy. But as our Adam Weiner show...
Let's start there. Both of y'all are adults. Your daughter's an adult.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
You're gonna take your adult daughter to go have sexual relations with an underage boy. This is the level of perversion that's going on in the black community. This is why the Pervert Police Network is so important. Not only do we just put, you know, the sickos, you know, the male sex offenders, you know, the male rapists on blast, we putting everybody on blast. If you're doing anything perverted and we find out, make sure you email the Pervert pervertpolicenetwork@gmail.com. These stories need to get highlighted because things need to change. We got to protect children. Children are not safe around the black single mother. Children are not safe around these sex offender boyfriends, these sex offenders in our community. Let's go.
Pervert. They were actually walking right into the hands of law enforcement.
Police say this double arrest really came by surprise. They say as they were trying to catch one woman in the act of trying to exploit a minor, they learned her own mother was helping.
Her own mother.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
Your own mother. Now, when they get locked up and got the cuffs on them, first thing they do is call their mama. First thing they do is start calling their mama. Let's go.
When 23-year-old Kratoya Hall entered this Northport home.
Okay, but dang, look how y'all grabbing me.
She expected a 14-year-old client.
No, ma'am, nothing.
She was not expecting the police.
She was expecting a 14-year-old. This grown woman is after children, selling her body to children.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
Flat out. She's a pervert. Let's go.
The case was very unique where one of our undercover detectives supposed to be a 14-year-old boy looking for someone to have sex with, for exchange of money.
Captain Chris Morales says Hall was responding to an internet-based ad and was expecting to be paid $400 cash. He said,
$400 to get you 40 years, you pervert.
Pervert.
As what was especially shocking was that Hall's own mother played a part.
This is the problem in the black community. These type of women procreating. You see the type of demons and monsters they raise.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
See, every time we talk about single motherhood, all you think about is violence, 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 crimes, criminals. You gotta think about the perverts that they raise.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
And most perverts are raised under the tutelage of the black single mother.
Pervert.
When she did arrive, lo and behold, we learned that not only did she come in a vehicle, but her mother had drove her to the residence.
That mother, Tawana Holmes, was also arrested.
It was shocking. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
They work as a perverted team to come and get your kids.
Pervert.
Hall and Holmes are charged with prostitution, attempted battery of a minor, and traveling to lure a minor for sex.
They deserve prison. They deserve prison. They deserve prison, man. You know? And I'm glad that they're doing these perverted sting operations. I'm glad. Because these people need to be locked up under the jail. Flat out. You know?
Pervert.
Now this next story, man, is crazy, man. This woman literally sold her 5-year-old daughter for $200 to her perverted sister's boyfriend. Are you hearing me? These women will sell their children. That's why I've always told you, if black women were offered $100,000 to give their children away to the government, it would be a lot of rich black women walking around here. Black women do not love their children. Flat out. This is actually heartbreaking, man. Story is about Shania Davis, man. You know, this is a crazy one right here, man. It was almost hard just watching this video, man, but we got to deal with it, man. It's the pervert police, man. We put them on blast. Let's go.
Pervert.
When Shania Davis disappeared 8 days ago, her mother, 25-year-old Antoinette Davis, dialed 911.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. How can I help you?
I woke up this morning and my daughter was not in the house. I don't know if she walked out or I don't know what's going on, but she's not here.
How old is your daughter?
Now you see how convincing black women are when they're in distress? This is why a lot of men get railroaded in the courtroom, because black women are great actors and great interviewers. This is dangerous. But at the end of the day, she's a pervert like anybody else.
Pervert.
Let's get into this story, y'all.
She's 5.
On the morning Shania disappeared, detectives say McNeil was spotted on a hotel surveillance camera.
Look at this pervert.
McNeil was spotted.
Get a look at this pervert.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
A 5-year-old girl was sold to him. He wanted to buy a 5-year-old. And the crazy part about it, we have these sexual offenders right under our noses in the black community. They're on the dating scene, they're on social network, they're on YouTube. We have sexual predators amongst us. And the black women still choose to deal with them.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
On a hotel surveillance camera, holding the 5-year-old in his arms. Investigators say they believe when
he took a 5-year-old to a hotel.
Pervert.
Shania left the hotel,
It's a beautiful little kid, man. And it's a shame that we got perverts that want to go attack children. Children.
Pervert.
Still alive. Her body was found Monday in the woods, 7 miles from that hotel.
She was raped and murdered after.
This pervert raped and murdered a 5-year-old that he purchased from the black mother. If this is not madness, I don't know what is. This is why we do this at the Pervert Police Network. Because this has got to end. I see a lot of people being real friendly with sex offenders and pervs. They are never to be forgiven for their acts.
Pervert.
After her mother sold her to pay off a debt.
The 5-year-old had lived most of her life with her father, Brad Lockhart. He had raped.
Worst thing he could have ever done is give that child back to that black mother. I watched this funeral and this man broke down. He loved his daughter, as most fathers do. Most fathers would die for their kids. That black woman is a selfish individual, man.
Pervert.
Raised her and says allowing Shania's mother to
look at this demon, the devil.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
This is the face of the devil. A woman that would sell her own child for the sexual gratification of a pervert.
Pervert.
Have informal temporary custody beginning in mid-October was based on his belief Shania should better know her birth mother.
Pervert.
She sold her child for $200. $200. There's more details to this story. You guys need to check it out.
5-year-old Shania Davis. Officials believe they found the little girl's remains yesterday in a wooded area of Sanford, North.
Now, the lies the mother told, the police put out an Amber Alert searching for the missing child as if it was a kidnapping. But the whole time, when the facts came out, the mother sold the child to her sister's boyfriend for a $200 drug debt. They had just raided her house for drugs 2 months prior. He was high off drugs, drunk off of liquor, and he was texting all types of women, and no woman would deal with him. He came to their trailer looking for Shania's mother's sister, her aunt. She wasn't there. So she told Shania's mother, Antoinette Davis, he told Shania's mother, Antoinette Davis, to pay him the $200 that she owed. She didn't have it, so she sold her daughter to the man for $200. And he took the daughter to the hotel and did God knows what.
You are a pervert.
Carolina. Shania had been missing a week. Her mother, Antoinette Davis, accused of selling little Shania for sex, did not enter a plea in court yesterday. Meanwhile, Mario McNeil, the man seen on hotel surveillance footage carrying the little girl into a hotel room, is charged with kidnapping. And last night, Shania's father broke down at a candlelight vigil.
Just bless her and bless those.
This is what happens when you get with the black single mother.
Pervert.
Yeah.
Who did not know no better.
Yeah.
So will her mother now be charged with murder? Joining me from Newton, Massachusetts is former prosecutor Wendy Murphy. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Maggie.
Even if Shania's mother is not directly linked to her killing, do you feel she will be charged in some way, either as accessory to murder?
Well, it's a good question. We don't know enough yet for me to answer that in a legal sense, but I can tell you this. If she knew that the child was being taken or delivered.
She knew because she delivered the child willingly. This is why I always say black single mothers do not love these kids. These kids are not growing up in love, flat out. In fact, most of these kids to the black woman are an inconvenience to her lifestyle.
I should say, for prostitution purposes, then yes, she could be charged with murder in what's called the felony murder rule. In other words, she's responsible for the consequences of a murder that follows in connection with a felony, and it certainly is a felony that she's charged with thus far. So the possibility is there for sure.
The felony being child prostitution, which is the hardest thing for any of us who hear this story to wrap our heads around. Prosecutors will have a hard time convincing a judge and jury that a mother is capable of doing that to her child.
They are. I have so many stories of abusive mothers. You know, I see it all the time. I'm in the black community. I literally watch these mothers abuse their children in public. The black single mother does not love these kids. These kids are in her way. These kids are an inconvenience. These kids are a burden. And she has no problem getting rid of them.
Pervert.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's going to be the best defense here. Just saying to the jury, it doesn't make sense, therefore you have reasonable doubt. And believe me, it works. But you know, Maggie, the truth is, sometimes mothers are capable of terrible things, and we romanticize motherhood sometimes to our own disadvantage, especially when it comes to protecting children. We have to be willing to accept that sometimes mothers can do things like this, literally.
And this is a problem too. Society giving these terrible mothers the benefit of the doubt instead of doubting the benefit of the mother. You see the power of feminism? How they still unite even when she ain't doing right?
Pervert.
Sell their children for money. You know, I know that it's hard to believe, but the fact is this could be a desperate mom. Perhaps there's a history of addiction. She might have a drug debt of some sort.
Those are no excuses to sell your child.
Pervert.
Speculating here, of course, but desperate mothers sometimes do terrible things. On the other hand, there's a boyfriend in the picture, and there's also a story that I've seen too many times in my career where it's the boyfriend driving the story, and he's literally saying to this woman, if you want to stay with me,
That's not even her boyfriend, that's her sister's boyfriend.
Pervert.
Love me, you will let me use your child for sexual purposes, for prostitution purposes. That's all too common too, and that's more a function of domestic violence, the control and abuse of the man. We don't know enough yet whether the real bad guy here is the guy or the mother.
So where do you see this investigation going next, Wendy?
Well, we certainly have to see what she says. She has counsel. She may assert her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, but I'll tell you this much. If she really is more of a victim than a perpetrator.
This is the problem. They always are trying to find some way to make the mother a victim. when this mother was not a victim. She was a victimizer. She should be charged with sex crimes like any other pervert.
Pervert.
And these people will lie, these perverts and predators will lie through their teeth to law enforcement. They will lie all day, every day. They can't be believed. But you have got to pay attention to your community because like I'm telling you, you know, you have an image in your head of what a pervert and a predator looks like. But they're right under your nose. They're amongst us. And we as a community have got to pay attention and be on high alert for perverts. You have to keep your eyes peeled for this BS. You move in an area, make sure you check the sex registry. Ladies, if you're dating a dude, check the sex registry on him. Fellas, you're dating a woman, check the sex registry. Women don't get a pass either. You have got to check the background on these women. They are out here looking for kids as well. There's a lot of women out here you might be dating who have had their kids taken from them for sexual abuse. But you're so mesmerized by how she looks, you're giving it a pass. No perverts get a pass in the community.
You are a pervert. Pervert.
Now this is what the perverts look like in the interrogation room.
Riveting testimony was played for jurors on this video screen. Also watching the video, defendant Mario McNeil, charged with the 2009 murder of Shania Davis. What everybody was watching was a nearly 5-hour-long interview that authorities did with.
Now this guy looks normal like anybody else you see in the community. You know what I'm saying? You might see him in the club. You might see him, you know what I'm saying, moving around, mingling with everybody. That's how sex predators, men on the sex registry, that's how they move. See, all you thinking about is a weirdo in a white van. They are blending in with the rest of society.
Pervert.
Pay attention.
McNeil, back on the evening of November 12, 2009, 2 days after Shania disappeared. The first part of the video was laid.
First of all, I want to say rest in peace to Shania Davis. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, that this pervert did what he did, you know, and we just want to bring awareness. You know, if you ever see any type of perverted things, man, don't be afraid to call law enforcement, you know, and avoid these guys. These people need to be ousted from our community. Have no forgiveness for a pervert.
Pervert.
Back. McNeil denied knowing Shania or knowing anything about what happened to the 5-year-old. But when then Fayetteville Police homicide investigator Chris Corcione showed McNeil surveillance photos from a Sanford hotel showing him carrying Shania, things got tense. McNeil said the person in the photos was not him and continued to deny knowing anything about the child's disappearance. About 2 hours into the interview, that story changed. McNeil said he did take Shania to the Sanford hotel after he claimed he got a text message from the child's aunt asking for a favor. An unidentified FBI agent confronted McNeil with a log of cell phone records and text messages showing no such text message existed. Investigators kept asking McNeil if he knew where Shania was. McNeil said, "I don't know," 3 times. Investigator, "You killed that baby, didn't you?" McNeil, "No."
He's a pervert, murderous, child rapist, sexual predator. And you guys be letting these type of people amongst the community giving them a pass. This has got to stop. This has got to end, man. One thing I can't stand is people who touch children, man.
Pervert.
"You killed her." McNeil, "No." Investigator, "Because she was evidence of..." McNeil no. The questioning continued in that manner. McNeil was terse and evasive. Now, the jury saw nearly all of the interview on Wednesday. Testimony will continue Thursday morning, and it's expected the state will conclude their case on Thursday. The earliest that the defense would begin presenting their case would be next Monday. It's uncertain now if Mary McNeil will take the stand himself. For FayObserver.com, I'm David Ivey.
All right.
Pervert.
So in conclusion, man, what went on with that trial? Dude was found guilty. Mario was found guilty of child rape, kidnapping, and murder, and was sentenced to death. He got the death penalty. The mother took a plea for second-degree murder, and she's serving 17 years. 17 years in prison. So after 17 years, she'll still have a life. Listen, may God forgive her, but we don't at the Pervert Police Network. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Minister Jap. Follow me on all social media networks. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this channel, the Pervert Police Network. Send your topics and suggestions in. You know what I'm saying? Much love and blessings, man. Be safe, stay on high alert for all perverts. And we out, man. Peace.